Hi everyone, this is Evelina, Life Coach for Immigrants, and today I have our very first episode/interview. And I have a very special treat. I'm talking today to Paty Johnston, an amazing life coach that helps her clients stop procrastinating. Paty has a very successful business, amazing practice. She has helped many clients from all over the world. And if you would like to know more about her, I will make sure to drop some links so that you can get to her website really easily after you're done listening to this podcast. It's a true honor to have you here, Paty. And yes, we're going to start with just a very quick, basic question. Where are you from, and when did you come to the U.S.?
Yeah, so thank you, Evelina. For me, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you and your audience today. Well, my name is Paty Johnston again, and I was born in Colombia, South America. And I came to the U.S. in 2002, January of 2002. Colombia is a beautiful country, but back then, around that time, it was very unsafe. And I was actually at a restaurant when a car bomb exploded. So I was injured and saw many people that were either dead or injured around me. So it was at that time that I decided it was a moment for me to go from Colombia to the U.S. So that was January 2002.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, who wouldn't want to leave if that's happening around you? So I know that you have a very special story to share about the very beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur here in the U.S. Can you tell us?
Yeah, definitely. So I came as a student first, and then I graduated and moved to Tampa, Florida. And at that time, I decided I needed to open up a business. I always wanted to have a business of my own, and that was going to allow me to also sponsor my visa for myself. So I was brave enough and decided to use all my savings, $2,000 at that time, and invested it in a company in Tampa. And I was super excited. I paid $1,000 towards rent, and I saved the other $1,000, the last money I had in my pocket, to buy a brand new computer. That was like the biggest investment I had done at that point. And it was all ready. It was a mechanic shop. And I was super excited. All the equipment was there. My beautiful computer was ready to go. And then I watched the news and I saw something I never heard before, because we don't have those things in Colombia. Mm-hmm. It was a hurricane. So a hurricane was coming to Florida. And I thought, oh, well, how bad that can be. A hurricane shouldn't be that bad. Oh, well, it was really, really bad. We actually had, even before opening the doors of the business, I had to go home and sleep there for 3 or 4 days while the hurricane would pass. And I was like, oh my goodness, I really wanted to open it. I needed the money. I needed clients to start coming in so I could live. And anyway, 4 days later, I went back to the shop only to find that there was a window that was broken in the office. Somebody, during the hurricane, just broke the window of the office and took the most precious, valuable I had at that point in my life, which was the computer. I just could not believe it. My only $1,000 that I had was just stolen. And I was just broken. I just sat down there and I thought, I just cannot believe I have not even started when this happened. So I had to borrow from my dad $300 just to fix the window and be able to eat something, because I was just at that point, I just couldn't survive. So anyway, I thought, I have the money my dad borrowed me, so I'm going to continue. So I fixed the window And few days later, I was so ready. Finally, at last, I'm going to have a few clients. I need them so much. And when I was ready to open, I watched the news, and you will not believe this. A second hurricane was coming through Tampa.
Oh, my God.
And I just could not believe this. So, I thought this is really not meant to be for me. At that point, I broke down, and I thought, everything is against me. Am I really that good anyway? Am I supposed to have a business? Maybe the easiest way for me would be just not open it and then stay safe, and no one will ever know that I fell. I was just completely distraught. So I talked to a friend who's a coach back then, and I said to her, I'm done. I'm just, I have no computer, this hurricane again. And she said, Paty, whether you think you can do it or you think you can't, you're right. That is a phrase by Henry Ford.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I have goosebumps all over my body. So true.
Yes, so true. And she said again, whether you think you can do it or you think you can't, you are right. Do you think you can do it? And I just paused by a moment and I thought, I do. I know me. I believe in myself. I have this desire of, succeeding for me. And my son was 3 years old at the time. And I thought, this is my moment. So I decided to gather everything, clean up the place, and I was just ready again. Oh my goodness, Evelina, one more time, ready to go. And guess what?
No.
Yes. So it happened that in 2004, 3 major hurricanes went down in Tampa and in Florida. 3 in the space of 2 months. So a third hurricane was coming. And I just couldn't believe it. I had to go back home still without being able to open the business. This time, I was not defeated. This time, I was not doubting myself. This time, I thought, you know what? Yes, I know another difficulty, but I know I can do it. So instead of going and crying and feeling bad for myself, I went and started studying during those 2 or 3 days that I was home. It was a mechanic shop. I decided to learn more about cars, learn more about mechanics. I decided to study a little bit about accounting because I didn't have a computer to keep the accounts for me anymore. So I utilized that time to grow and to be ready for when the time came. And it did come at last. August of 2004, I was able to open up my business. And not only that, I opened it with $2,000. And 18 months later, that is in December of 2005, I was able to sell that business for $500,000.
Oh, my gosh. That is absolutely
18 months
crazy.
later.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And I'm going to tell you something. And for anyone that is listening out there, can you imagine if I had quit in hurricane number 1 when my computer was stolen?
And how many people would have?
Exactly. Or I could have quit in hurricane number 2. Or even in hurricane number 3, you could have said, well, this is just too much. But I didn't quit. And that's what makes the difference between me not having a business, a future, and a lot of money, and me succeeding. And I'm saying this not because I'm great or look at me. Is I think about the so many times that I have quit or thought I could quit, and I could have missed out in one of the best and biggest opportunities of my life. So that was a big lesson for me.
Yeah, and a big lesson for everyone listening too. What an incredible story. All right, Paty, so I want to ask you, what was the thought that kept you going? What were you thinking at that time when you were about to give up, but then you decided not to, right, after talking to your coach?
Yeah. So her phrase, was just like a good reminder that it was up to me to decide whether I could do it or not. It was just only me that knew that I could do it. And that was the constant in my mind is, I can do this. I know I can do this. And I can do it, one, because, God has been good to me my whole life and always He's first for me, but I knew my potential. I needed to remind myself that in spite of the circumstances, I knew deep in my heart I could do it. And I was doing it for me, and I was doing it for my son, who was a baby at that time. So that was it. I could, all the time when I felt like, I cannot go on, I would say it even out loud, which sounds very crazy. I would say, no, but I can do it. I know I can. And I did it.
I love it. Yes. And it's, from that thought, I can do it, right? You felt this deep belief. And it's almost like, it sounds like you just made a decision, right? The coach helped you make a decision, and that was it. The decision was made. No arguing. The brain maybe wanted to argue when you had doubt, but you're like, no, we're not arguing with this. It's happening.
Yes, it is. And that's the reality. We kind of let other people's opinions or circumstances to determine our next steps, when in reality, the decision is yours.
Absolutely. And it's so basic, right? And yet such a deep wisdom, and it can be applied to absolutely every single 100%. Thing in our life.
100%. It's profound. It is true. Yeah. I love neuroscience, and I have a course, and I just teach a lot of neuroscience in my course because it's been so impactful to me to realize that you can actually command your own brain to believe whatever they want to believe. You can command yourself like if you're a doggy, like, sit or turn or do whatever. You can actually tell yourself you can do it, and your brain will embrace that, believe it, and it'll come to happen.
Absolutely. Believing on purpose, right?
That's
and
right.
Believing from a place of, I am in charge here. Like the old belief that I'm not capable, that's all BS. I am in charge, and I can decide.
Absolutely.
It's so empowering.
I tell my coaching clients, I'm like, whose life is it? Oh, it's mine. So whose time is it? It's mine. Then who makes the decisions? We make it. Yes,
to all of it. So tell us, where can we find you? If any of the listeners would like to find you and have you help them with, starting to procrastinate, where can they find you?
Yeah, definitely. So, again, if you want to Google me or search for me, my name is Paty with just one P, Paty Johnston. And my course is called How to Stop Procrastinating in 30 Days. And I have a website if you want to check it out. It's called stopprocrastinatingtoday.com. Stopprocrastinatingtoday.com.
Oh, that's perfect. Love it. Easy to remember. Yes. And listeners, I will make sure to give you all the information in the description of this show, so you can find it really easily. Just take a look there. Well, Paty, you are such an incredible example of how far one can come if they have the spirit of strength, resilience, and patience. Thank you so much for joining me here and sharing this incredible story with us. You're such a gem.
No, thank you. It's just an honor to be here. Thank you so much for your kind words. Each of us can make it, and I'm just proof that even a little girl, single mom from Colombia can make it happen. You can too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.